Welcome to the session BGP. In this session, I will be explaining to you about the BGP. I will give you the brief introduction about the BGP. So we will start from basic. So we will look into introduction to BGP, and then we will also look into why to use BGP and when BGP is not appropriate. And then we will wrap up this video after discussing how to read the BGP table. Okay, so let's start. Introduction to BGP. BGP is a border gateway protocol. So let's say we have the router R1 here and router R2. Behind the router R1, I have a LAN network, and behind the router R2, I do have also a LAN network. And subnet between router 1 and router 2, let's say 10.171.0/24, and behind the R2, we have 10.172.0/24. So these two subnet, and the autonomous system for R1 is 100 and for R2 is 200. So guys, I will be discussing more about the autonomous system when I will be coming into my point number 3. Okay, so for the time being, router 1 is 100 and router 2 is 200. So whenever we will be establishing a communication between two autonomous system, a different autonomous system, we need a protocol in between, which is known as the BGP, and this connection is known as the eBGP, external border gateway protocol. So I will be providing you the more information about the eBGP, iBGP when we will go ahead. But for the time being, just let you know this: whenever we will be establishing a communication between two autonomous systems, we need a protocol which is known as the BGP protocol, border gateway protocol. Okay, BGP is also exterior gateway protocol. So what it is? So we have the two types of protocol. One is the IGP and one is the EGP. IGP stand for interior gateway protocol, where we will find the static route, we will find the RIP version 2, we will find the EIGRP, we will find the OSPF. So these are all protocol which is the member of IGP, and this we will be using for establishing a communication internally within a single autonomous system. But exterior gateway protocol is the protocol which is used for establishing a communication between two autonomous systems. So which is BGP, border gateway protocol, and we will use the BGP between two border only, to establishing communication between two border only. Okay, so now what is autonomous system? So here is the point number 3. BGP works based on autonomous system. So guys, you might have studied in basic CCNA that the autonomous system is nothing but it's a collection of device under a single administrative domain. So let's say we have the router R1 here, router R2, router R3, and let's say the router R4. And these four routers are connected, and I have the IGP protocol in between which is running. So this is the collection of device under a single administrative domain. Let's say the administrative domain is 100. Okay, so autonomous system is 100. So whenever we are talking about the collection of device under a single administrative domain, which is known as the autonomous system, and we always specify autonomous system with the help of a numeric number. Okay, so the BGP is a protocol which always work based on the autonomous system. So as I explained, whenever we will be establishing communication between two AS, let's say the AS100 and the AS200, so we need a protocol in between which is known as the BGP protocol. Okay, BGP is a path vector routing protocol. So what does it mean? It means this: in BGP, whenever an update sent from one router to another router, it always send along with the path information. Let's say we have router R1 here, we have router R2 here, and then we have router R3 here. Okay, and we have the LAN subnet which is 192.168.1.0/24. Okay, and I'm sending this update from R1 to R2. Okay, and autonomous system for R1 is 100, R2 is 200, and R3 is 300. And again, this update is sending from R2 to R3. Okay, so now when we will go to R3 and we will see the update, which is 192.168.1.0/24, we will see the update which is coming from 100 and then 200 and then which is 300. So it means the update has generated from R1 and then R2 and then R3. So this is the reason the BGP is known as the path vector routing protocol, because whenever it is sending the update from one router to another router, it always inject its own autonomous system. So from R1, this update has been initiated from R1, send it to the R2. In this, he has injected the AS number 100. From R2, this update again forwarded to R3, and R2 has also injected his own AS number, which is 300. Sorry, 200. So now we are in router number 3, and router 3 also has the AS number 300. When the router 3 will forward the packet further, he will inject his own autonomous system, which is 300. So it means each and every router in the path, they are injecting their own autonomous system number. Okay, so therefore the BGP is known as the path vector routing protocol. And whereas you will not find any loop in BGP, no routing loop in BGP. Okay, so by default there is no routing loop in BGP. So guys, when I will be explaining to you that how BGP prevent the forming of loop in its environment, in this case you will be get more a clarification about the path vector and the routing loop. So for instance, uh, whenever an update is sending from R1 to R2, R2 to R3, he is always injecting his own autonomous system. Okay, because of that, the BGP is preventing the loop. Okay, so I will be explaining more in my slide. I do have a different slide about the loop prevention mechanism in BGP. Okay, so now let's say let's say BGP is a layer 7 protocol but uses the port number 179. Okay, so BGP is one of the protocol which always work in application layer. Okay, which is the layer 7, but it uses the port 179, which is the TCP port from the layer 4. Okay, it means the BGP is a protocol which always work, you know, on the layer 4, but it uses the port number 179 to establish a communication. So you might have known that we have the two type of port in layer 4, which is TCP and one is the UDP. So TCP is known for the reliable connection and UDP is not reliable. Okay, it's not reliable. So when a BGP use the TCP port 179, it means whatever the communication we are setting up using the BGP, it's reliable connection. It's reliable, the connection to be reliable. Okay, so let's say in IGP we have the protocol which is RIP, which is using the UDP port. Okay, so since it is using the UDP port, the RIP is not reliable, but BGP is reliable. So whenever it will send an update, before it send an update, it will establish a TCP connections between the uh, server and client. So guys, I also have a separate slide where I explain about the BGP layer 7 protocol and how it uses the port number 179, which is a TCP port. So for the time being, just you know this, the BGP is the layer 7 protocol but uses the port TCP port 179 for establishing a communications. Okay, neighbors need to create manually. So this may be a, you know, different for you guys who have studied the IGP protocol, because in IGP protocol what happened, let's say we have the router R1 and I have the router R2 and then I have the router R3 here. Okay, and I am using the protocol EIGRP between the router 1 and router 2 and between router 2 and router 3. Okay, so what we just need to do, we just need to go to the router 1 and advertise the IP address of this interface. Okay, and we have to go to the router 2 as well as the router 3 and advertise the IP address of this interface, these two interface. Automatically the hello message will be exchanged between the router 1 and the router 1 and router 2. Okay, which is not manually, that we should not go to the R1 and tell to R1 that R2 is your neighbor, and we have to go to R1 and tell R3 is our neighbor. So whenever we will go to R1 and advertise these interface under the EIGRP, it will automatically send a hello message and form a neighborship. Okay, but this is not the scenario with the help of the BGP. So in BGP, let's say we have router 1 and we have the router 2. Okay, so whenever you would like to establish a neighborship between router 1 and router 2, you have to go to the router 1 and specify that R2 is your neighbor, and we have to go to the R2 and specify that R1 is our neighbor. Okay, so it means this is the more manual task. If we have the 100 neighbors, we have to go to the each and every neighbors and configure the neighbor manually. So in BGP, the forming of neighbor is not automatic, so this is the more manual task. But in IGP, like in OSPF or maybe RIP or maybe EIGRP, we just need to go to the router and specify the interface, and if the other end subnet follow under the uh, interface which we have advertised, it will automatically become a neighborship. But in BGP, we have to go to the consecutive router, let's say R1 and R2, and we specify, hey Mr. R1, that R2 is your neighbor, and we have to go to R2 and specify R1 is your neighbor. So we have a lab session based on the neighbor creations, neighbor establishment between the two routers. So here I will be doing the practical, and you will be getting the more clarity about the neighbor configurations. Okay, so works on unicast. So BGP is a protocol, it always works on unicast. So since we are making the neighborship manually, we have to go to R1 and specify that R2 is your neighbor. If we have any other neighbor connected between R1 and R3, we have to go to the R3 again and specify R1 is our neighbor. So in this case, the hello message which is sending between the neighbor, it is unicast. So let's say I have at router R1 and configure that R2 is my neighbor. Then the hello message will be sent to R2. Simultaneously, when I will be at router R2 and configure the R1 is my neighbor, then the hello message will be sending to the R1. The same way, when I be at R1 and specify that R3 is my neighbor, and then the hello message will be sending to the R3. And the same way, when I will be at R3 and specify R1 is my neighbor, then the hello message will be sending towards the R1. So this is the more like manual task, and then the hello message will be sending one way from R1 to R2, from R2 to R1. But in normal IGP, since the creation of the neighborship is not manual, this is the multitasking. Okay, the multicasting. But in case of the BGP, this will be unicast. R1 will be sending to R2, R2 will be sending back to the R1. Okay, so BGP is a protocol which by default which can be used for no load balancing. So BGP is a protocol, by default there is no load balancing. If you would like to achieve the load balancing in BGP, we have to create a different configuration. So I will be showing each of these to you guys when I will be dealing with the load balancing tutorial. Okay, so BGP is a protocol which support the classless routing. So we have the two type of class. Okay, one is the classful and other one is the classless. Okay, so in BGP it support the VLSM Okay, it also support the fixed length subnet mask and the variable length subnet mask. So it means, let's say we have the router R1 here and we have the router R2 here, and we have created the BGP neighborship between these two, and we have the subnet 192.168.1.0/24. Okay, when this update will be sending from R1 to R2. Okay, and when we will go to R2, let's say we are at R2 and we see the BGP table, at R2, we will find 192.168.1.0/24 with the same subnet mask. It means when an update will be sending from one router to another router, the subnet mask will be exactly the same. It will carry the fixed length subnet masking. Okay, so what happened in the classful network? In classful network, whatever the subnet you are sending from the source to destinations, in destination when you will check it, you will find the entire class of the subnet. Let's say we are sending 71.0/24, and when we will see at the R2, we will find it like 10.0.0/8. So by default, which will take the entire subnet mask. Okay, but in classless, the subnet mask that you are sending from source to destination, you will see the subnet exact the same subnet mask that you are sending it. So therefore, the BGP support the classless routing. In classless routing, you will find the VLSM, FLSM, and all. Okay. So if you have the more knowledge about the subnetting or supernetting, you will be understanding what I'm talking about. Okay, so administrative distance for eBGP is 20 and for iBGP is 200. So guys, eBGP is nothing but which is the external border gateway protocol, and then iBGP is internal border gateway protocol. So I have a separate slide where I explain about the differences between the eBGP and then iBGP. But for the time being, let's say whenever we are establishing communication between two routers, R1 and R2, and these two routers are from a different autonomous system. Let's say for R1 we have 100 and for R2 we have 200. So whenever we will establishing a communication between two different AS number is known as the eBGP, and whenever we are establishing a communication between, let's say, R1 and R2, and these two are belongs to the same AS number, so which is known as the iBGP. Okay, so the administrative distance. So what is administrative distance? You have studied in basic CCNA. This is trustworthiness. A router will take the forwarding decision based on the lowest AD value. So if we have the two routes reaching to a single destination, and one route is from eBGP and another route is from iBGP, so the BGP will always take the path which is the lesser AD value. So in my case, we have the eBGP which is 20. So the lesser AD value will always prefer than the higher. So guys, when I will be teaching you about the path selection and the path attributes in the BGP, you will be more clear about what I'm talking about, eBGP and iBGP, and how the route selection can be done. But for instance, let's say if you are getting two routes reaching to the same destination, we have eBGP and iBGP, then uh, the BGP will always choose the eBGP because it has the lowest AD value. Okay, thank you guys.